to your magical moon message. This is the peace dealer. Yeah, moon in Aquarius, sun in Leo. And just a reminder that you are all my sons. Yeah, I'm like Nicki Minaj, baby. All these bitches are my sons. No, but for real, welcome to your magical moon message. It's still hot. It's not too hot, but I'm sweating like it is. It could be hotter though, so I won't complain. Anyway, welcome to your magic moon message. I feel dumb as hell combing this now, but I am getting the afro back, baby. Yeah, had the cornrows before. So I'm gonna start getting my afro back. Okay. I haven't lined up my hair in a minute, so I can get a haircut. But anyway, magic moon message. Moon in Aquarius, sun in Leo. This is it, y'all. This is not only an open door through an intergalactic, interdimensional portal, but this is also the recollection, downloading an understanding of total knowledge relative to the solar energy you've been harnessing. If you want to think stereotypical animes, ki, life force, nen, chakra, what's the knowledge of utilizing that? What's the knowledge of actually harnessing that in its total capacity? Congratulations. Just like every moon in Aqua with Saturn transit we had, you are effectively ready and geared to understand the total knowledge, not only of this process, but now that we are completing this talent show cycle, the judges are ready to deliberate based on your performances you have made. Some of you may not even realize you've been judged on the performances you've been made over the past 2 weeks relative to your responses to real life situations in social contexts. And coming into the third quarter square from Moon in Aqua to Moon in Taurus, you are harvesting the results of the energy you've harnessed, the energy you've charged. Let's say from the new moon in Leo 2 weeks ago to this full moon in Aquarius, you've charged the loading screen. This loading screen that you have charged, this loading screen you have charged has built energy that you have manifested from your heart through the social axis, now coming out of the realm of the gods as we enter this gauntlet period, enabling a 2-week hyper accelerated blossoming process of, with the moon going through Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, development, connecting with your subconscious in order to facilitate so much more rapid acceleration and growth, or rapid accelerated growth. That being said, now that from February, with the conjunction of Saturn, we've now reached the opposition. This is a huge milestone and checkpoint to where moving forward, there is a much more noticeable level of the application of your powers and abilities. And coming into Virgo season, you're going to now gain detailed analytical insight. Healthy, baby. You like that synchronicity into how to actually master these new abilities and skills. Now that Leo season has completed the energy needed to charge your ability to practice these skills, okay? It's going to take a much more practical quality, especially with Mercury that's zipping through Virgo and actually giving your brain, before we're aware of it, analytical insight into how to already start to practice these skills in the formation of techniques, most of which up until this point was subconscious or unconscious to you, but now in the light of the full moon is giving you full awareness of how to really complete this knowledge you're understanding in order to finalize the last part of this performance. Okay, if you think that this Leo season is the talent show and you've been on stage performing the individuality of what you are, the judges will be deliberating while you're harvesting the results of this performance. And once we get into the moon in Taurus, 10th house of Leo, of career and success, it's where you get the results. And then 11th house of rewards from career lets you know what prize you get. Moon in Gemini, based on, are you in the clique of winners or losers, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, this is no participation trophy kind of thing. It's not a participation trophy kind of thing. Leo is very competitive. But as cliche as it's gonna sound, if you actually performed, you know what I'm saying? If you actually put your heart out there, then you won. So the nature of the prize is, what did you win? Like, based on what you put out there, did you put a little bit out of your heart there? You're gonna get a little bit back. Did you express your full heart? You're gonna get that back, okay? It's not a participation trophy kind of thing though, but it's something that merits you based on what you put out there. Hence, you reap what you sow. And this full moon is reaping the harvest of what we sowed 2 weeks ago. And this is a total knowledge of everything since February that you've been downloading. And this is what's going to carry you forward into the eclipse over the next 3-6 months to actualize socially in context with other people as you bring out everything you've learned in order to now master through Virgo season. That was a mouthful. Anyway, the moon's going to be squaring Uranus and Taurus. That's going to be grounding unconventionally this higher knowledge you're gaining and harvesting so that you can already start to feel it in your body, ground it in your perspective. And because we also have Venus that has opposed Pluto, this is going to break through any depth of mutual feelings you have towards projects, people, romantic, platonic connections, regardless of what it is, so that this can also break you through any doubts or fears in expressing any of this passion or pleasure or beauty affectionately, whether due to a fear of loss, a fear of not being good enough, or any of that bullshit. This is really just going to open you up to receive and express more what you deserve and who deserves it from you, okay? And highlight these fears, because everything about Leo season is, you know, harnessing the courage to break through them. If you haven't noticed yet, you know, false evidence appearing real has to be arisen so that you have something to level up through and break through. So I want you to see the next week ahead as you harvesting the results. There's nothing that you might be worrying about now that you can't overcome or won't necessarily be better. So it might look worse than it is. So whatever knowledge you're coming into, use that as we move into Moon in Pisces, because this perspective, the divine perspective and understanding, will transform entirely how much more boldly you express yourself. Now, be careful of ego games, which you can, through detachment, see through. Certain people in their intimidation you see this with, like, I don't want to just say muscle heads, but you see this with people who, because they have a lack of self-esteem, they have to use machismo, like excessive machismo, to basically enforce masculinity. Men and women do this. But yeah, that's really just an expression of false pride and narcissism, because the person who's expressing that isn't truly secure in themselves. So you're going to be seeing a lot of that. People trying to overcompensate what lack of spiritual work they did to build up their security by having to feel better than others. And let people snitch on themselves like this, because they're going to get the immediate gratification, but they're oblivious to how what they're doing only makes them more insecure. Weak little bitches. Anyway, other than that, I'm still hashtag petty gang. Other than that, you want to really, also reward your strength. The last 2 weeks was you effectively activating the first week and integrating the second week. So this week ahead is you literally harvesting the crops you planted. You're coming into not only knowledge, but enhanced energy. You're going to see that you're stronger, you're more courageous. Certain things that you approached with caution, you're more fearless towards. And respective of whatever portals we walked through, This is going to facilitate extraordinary changes to the status quo, and applying this level of your strength into how you could take everything you're doing onto the next level. Because this moon, albeit the proximity to its transit to Saturn will be sextiling Jupiter in Aries retrograde, and this will already expand immediately what individual actions you could take with what you harvested. And it's also going to put you in a position to understand the knowledge, Moon in Aquarius, of the supernatural energy, cosmic energy, or phenomena that constitutes and incorporates your ability to integrate that into social interactions you have with others. So for those of you who are healing, not only are you going to continue to use your healing ability, but now you're able to show other people much more the causality between what techniques you've done and the effects, versus it being left to the abstract. The Uranian Saturn square is lessening the whole notion of vagueness and creating space for specificity as we step into Virgo's grand Earth trine and Scorpio's eclipse. And this Leo season is once again a huge checkpoint. And this full moon in Leo is the hugest checkpoint towards our full acceptance of these themes and dynamics. So with that being said, all this really just puts you in a position with this specific moon transit to, first of all, Kinky, acknowledge the hard work you put in over the past 2 weeks and celebrate what you're harvesting. The rest of today and tomorrow will give you keen insight and understanding of the knowledge of what you're beginning to harvest. Harvest, of course, which is going to be Moon in Aqua, Moon in Pisces, and then Moon in Aries. Moon in Aries is that initial action leading into the third quarter square that will begin to clear the field of the harvest and have you take action based off of what you harvest. So you'll have a lot more ascension of how you feel about who you are because you're so much stronger. So you're literally getting ready to ascend, okay? Your identity, you're understanding your identity. But for now, you're understanding the Moon Saturn total knowledge of what you're harvesting and how strong the knowledge of this energy you're harnessing is, so that you know exactly what to utilize it for, how to utilize it, when to utilize it, what to utilize it with. This is also taking into account life-changing breakthrough themes that transform the level of courage and boldness you express facets of yourself and not be a weak wimp who gives in to peer pressure. That's the best part about this full moon. The grand fixed cross that is activating here is going to break so many of you out of what you were stuck in before, with the fuel of your courage to look in the face those who wish to, through manipulative psychological tactics or peer pressure, have you bend and fold. But we don't bend, we don't fold, we don't break, okay? We roar! Where's the sun? Sun roar! And if anyone tries to play you, just roar in their face and watch them run like little pussies. Alternatively, I don't mean that as disrespect to actual vagina when I say pussies. But yes, other than that, if they can't handle your roar, then that's just evidence of how courageous you are. Literally, in mid-conversation, when someone is just wasting your time, just roar! I'll be on my way. And just move, and just walk away, and just walk away. And watch as they're just dumbfounded at your majesticness. Okay, that's your homework. Anyway, other than that, I hope you enjoy this transit. Oh, see, look, I was talking about this is gonna be a harvest. Look at the sign. Great harvest, babe. What are you harvesting? You about to find out. Out of all the full moons we've had, this is the strongest full moon we're gonna have this year and for a while, because we're not gonna have Saturn here next year. And yeah, that's it, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this report. I hope you enjoy what you're harvesting. Godspeed.